Welcome back, Bubble enthusiast. Today we are diving into an essential feature in Bubble.io called groups. Groups are the backbone of structuring and organizing your page in Bubble. So, whether you are a beginner or an advanced user, this is a must know tool that will help you build better applications with Bubble. So, groups we can find it here in the container section. We have this simple group, repeating group, pop up, floating group, group focus, and here we have been introduced with one more container type, that is table. So, basically, what are groups in Bubble.io? First thing first, in Bubble, a group is a container that holds other elements like text, image, or even other groups. Think of it as a way to structure your page by grouping elements that should stay together. For example, if you want a sidebar menu, you might want to group all the buttons in that sidebar together. Groups are also extremely helpful because they allow you to apply certain actions or data once and have it affect all on the elements that are present inside it. For instance, you can set conditions, visibility, or add workflows that apply to everything within that particular group. So, basically, why we should use groups. Bubble Responsive Engine works well when elements are grouped together. You'll get more control how things resize and adjust on different screens. By grouping elements, you can streamline workflows and make your app faster and more efficient. Easier maintenance. If you ever need to change the style or data source of several items, doing it within a group means you only need to adjust it once. So we don't have to do it again and again for each and every element present inside that particular group container. A pro tip I would like to give my viewers to keep your groups organized with clear naming conventions like header, profile group, so you can easily find them when building or updating your applications. So let's jump into the main type of groups in Bubble.io. Bubble offers several group options with each unique characteristics. So let's start with our standard group. So this is the most basic type. It holds element and can have dynamic data sources. If you need to display specific data like user information, you can use a standard group with a data source such as current user. For example, this is the group. We can simply drag and drop it here. What type of layout we wanted to give our group to, whether we wanted it to be a container column layout, fixed layout, aligned to parent layout, row layout, how we wanted it to act. The whole this our index is also a type of group only. Index is basically here the main page for the website that is going to display front page. Once we currently this page is empty. So for groups we need to adjust first, need to know about the container layout. So currently the layout of this particular index container, index, see the naming convention, it is very necessary here, otherwise we won't know on which particular group, like while creating any application or web we will be having multiple groups in one particular single page, then we need to like identify it with proper namings. So here we are having this index group. It can be seen here in the elements tree index. We can change the layout according to us. A pro tip from me is to use it as a column always. We can use it as we wanted to, but as it is the index, the main or the parent for each every text element or a container, so we like my pro tip for my viewers is to make it column always. We can change its minimum height and width according to our requirement and change it any kind of flat color need to, if for example I wanted to change the color for this particular thing, see here you can change it. If you wanted to provide any kind of transition here, background style, padding, horizontal padding, vertical padding, you can give it from here. Any kind of conditions from this, you can give it. Now let's, as we have dropped a pop-up, a group, standard group, it is displaying here. Now we can change the layout for this particular container as a row. I wanted it to be center aligned. Now, as you can see, I can make it left align or in the front center. Likewise, you can change it. Currently, it is in the fixed width. I can make it full width, or we can make it fit with to content according to our requirement. So, for example, let's drop a text here. Edit me. See, it is appearing here in the end. Why it is appearing in the end? Because we have set the container alignment, like whatever we will drop it inside this particular container group A will be aligned to the right. We can change their alignment accordingly. Likewise, here we can just simply give it a label, hello world, and we can make it simply center aligned. We can change its font size. We can control everything from here. We can go to merge or like layout. We can change its margin, padding, everything. So currently this group's layout is in row. So everything will comes up in a row format. Like for example, let me duplicate it. So here they are coming in row format. What if I wanted to give or allow spacing between a group element? So we can just simply select that particular group, apply gap or spacing between them. We can add 20 pixel or 20 pixel here. So it will make like every element that I will be having here in this particular group will be maintaining this gap of 20 pixel. If we change the layout it to column, see, now these are appearing in a column format. We can change their layout according to our particular requirement. So this is our standard group. This fixed group, this is something where we can define or we are having this width and height fixed. We use it according to our requirement, but when, like, mostly we do not use this fixed element, otherwise it will, like, when we try to make it mobile responsive, it will create issues. So let's make it column. Now let's switch to our repeating group. Let me drag and drop. As the parent index group was in column format, see these two groups, group A and this particular group, these are appearing in column format. So this is repeating group. This group is basically used to fetch data from our backend. For example, this particular I am making it a type of listing. So basically this group, repeating group, will fetch data from our backend listings, fetch it dynamically. For example, if I've added a particular hello world to this particular, like, particular text to this repeating group, so we can set rows, number of columns we wanted, and likewise we can control the data source also. Here I have provided this, the type of content to be listing. Let's do a search for our listings types. So this parent repeating group will be having type of content of listing. Now this text, we can insert our content here from the dynamic current sales index name. So when we will preview it in the front end, it will fetch up from names from the backend. Here, for example, here in our listings app data, we can find these two names, demo and test. See, demo and test. Why it is appearing here? Because repeating group is a type of dynamic group only. It do not fetch any kind of static values. So I've set the type of content to listings and set the data source to search for listings only. And here I have dragged and dropped a text value and made it dynamic by adding it to current sales listings name. Or we can drop one more element here and we can make change its name to current sales listings email. Then we will be starting to have emails also in the front end. See here. So that is how repeating groups work. Then let's go to our floating groups. So basically, these are floating groups. Once we dragged and dropped it on our canvas, so basically, what will happen? We can do same thing with this particular group. Like we can add a text or any kind of element we wanted, but floating group stays in one place on the screen while you scroll. Think of it like a sticky sidebar or navigation bar that you wanted to stay visible no matter how much we scroll on that particular page. This is ideal for navigational menus or chat widget that we need to be accessed throughout the user's experience. For example, here, let me change the color so it will be visible. Primary. See here. Let me refresh this particular page. See, this is sticky here on the header part which I have dragged and dropped this particular thing. So that is how it is used in our application. So let's hop on to another container type, that is our pop-up group. Pop-up. Everyone knows what pop-up is. If you do not, no worries. Let me introduce it. So basically, it is essential a model or a pop-up window. It is useful when you wanted to display content over the rest of your page, like login forms, alerts, or confirmations. Pop ups can be triggered with the workflow and makes them ideal for temporary or supplementary information that users need to access quickly. For example, here I have dragged and dropped a pop up named A, let's say alert, and let me just add a text value here. Hi, welcome. Okay, and let's make this pop-up appear according to our requirement. Let's add a button here. Button from the elements, we can just simply search from here also. Let me add here button. Click me. We can add small workflows, we like in case if you have any kind of doubt or anything, so we'll be having a separate video for it also, workflows. So once you click on add workflow, we can just simply go to element actions, toggle, we can select the pop-up alert. So now let's see what happens here on the front end. We can see the button here in the front end named click me. When we click, we are having this pop-up group to appear. See, that is how our pop-up container works. Then we are having focus group focus. So basically it is very unique because it is a group that displays related to another element, like a drop down menu. For instance, you could use it to create a setting menu that appears below a button when clicked. It is especially useful for tooltips, contextual menus, or drop downs when you wanted a group to stay aligned to its specific parent element. For example, I have dragged and dropped this group focus, and I have this particular button click me. I am giving reference to it to our button click me. Okay, I am deleting this one so we don't have any kind of confusion here. So click me, it is its reference element, and once, for example, here this button click me, and this is our group focus. Let's say its name is A. So let's add a new workflow to this particular button, like when clicking on this button what should happen. So as we have set the reference element to this particular button, we need to add workflow. So I've added this workflow. Button click me is clicked, what should happen? Then we can just simply go to our element action, toggle which particular group we wanted to toggle, that is a group focus. So now let's see what happened in the front end. When we click on this click me, see this group focus has appeared here in our front end. Now that we have covered the types of groups, let's quickly go over how to add group in your Bubble project. First, go through the design tab. You can select any data source and then set the type of content to connect. We can make it dynamic for every group, not only for repeating group. We can make it dynamic for each and every group, whether it is a group focus or a floating group or our simple group. We can just simply select the type of element, type of content which we wanted to display, whether it is a current user or need to search for another data type. We can do it here. And there you have it. Groups are an incredible, powerful tool in Bubble.io that can make your pages organized, efficient, and easy to maintain. Try experimenting with different group types in your next project to see which fits your needs best. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Bubble tips, and let me know in the comments which group type you are most excited to try. See you in the next video.